Hey, welcome to Discipleship. We are so grateful for the opportunity to invest in you this year through discipleship here at Wesley. Discipleship is at the foundation of who we are as a ministry. It's really at the core of how we invest in you as you're a part of Lead Grow. And so there's a few things that we're hoping that discipleship is for you this year. The first is that it's a relationship with somebody as you grow in your relationship with God. Our hope is that in discipleship, you experience the type of interaction and engagement with your discipler that actually allows you to have somebody help you as you try to take your next steps with God. That as you try to grow in your knowledge of Him, your knowledge of yourself, and actually living the life that He has for you, discipleship is meant to provide for you a relationship that just helps. Sometimes we just need some encouragement. Sometimes we need someone to talk to about life and about the truth of God. And your discipler is here to do that with you. And so this isn't just some casual conversation. Your discipler isn't someone just to grab coffee with and hang. They're actually here to talk about your relationship with Jesus and to help you grow in it. And so the second thing that discipleship is it's the opportunity for somebody to actually share with you their thoughts as you share with them yours. And so in discipleship, your discipler is going to ask you a lot of questions, and they're going to want you to answer them and to share about your life. And then sometimes when you share something, they're going to respond. They're going to share with you what they think and what they believe God would say. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're always right and you're always wrong or anything like that. But what they're trying to do is to walk with you on your journey of discovering more and more what's true about God. And so when you say something and they respond, they're not trying to shut you up and put you down or set you in your place. They're just trying to give you a little feedback. They're trying to give you a little bit of response to the things that you're saying. And here's the truth. They're responding because they care. It's because they're listening to what you say. And they want to help you know more and more of God's truth. And one of the reasons that they want you to know what's true is because the Bible tells us that the truth will set us free. But it's knowing the truth. It's actually living the truth. And that's why we have in discipleship what's called next steps. And next steps are things that your discipler and you are going to come up with together as to what you can do next in your life, in your relationship with Jesus, to actually experience freedom. In other words, based on the truth that you're learning, that the two of you are talking about, what should you do next? What action does it seem natural to change or to start in order to experience more of what God has for you? Now, finally, discipleship is the opportunity for you to get prayed for. Prayer is such a powerful thing in our relationship with Jesus. There's so much that can happen when we ask God to do something in our life. In fact, anything can happen. We believe that when we pray, God responds. And when God responds, man, things change. People go from being dead to alive. Lost things get found. Situations that we need breakthrough in, we actually see God move. And that freedom that we've been waiting for comes. And that lie that's been in our head, man, we don't think it anymore. We don't believe the things that we used to believe about ourselves or believe about others or even believe about God. Instead, we believe the truth. All because somebody prayed for us. I mean, that's amazing. And so every week in discipleship, someone's going to pray for you. And your discipler is simply going to ask God to do the things that you've been telling them you want to see Him do. But there's so much power in that. So what I actually just described for you is 4 out of our 5 elements of discipleship. So 5 elements of discipleship is what we would say is the recipe for discipleship, that if we want to have a good meeting, and here's like 4 or 5 things that should be a part of it. The first is real talk, where we have real life talk about what's happening in your relationship with God. Again, it's not casual, it's intentional, and it's open, and it's honest. And the second thing is truth and accountability, where the person that meets with you on a weekly basis, your discipler, actually helps you live according to the truth, helps you discover that, and then holds you accountable to it in your life. That's their response to your real talk. And then we have next steps, which is those actions that we should take in our life so that we live more in line with what God says and how He says we should live. And then we have prayer. And prayer's, again, that gasoline, that fuel to the whole thing, where we have a lot of talk and we come up with a lot of plans. But in prayer, we ask God to do His part so that we're actually able to do ours. So that when we do ours, change actually happens. So here's one final thought for you. Discipleship isn't meant to be the only spiritual relationship you have in your life. Really, what discipleship is supposed to do is teach you how to have spiritual relationships. It's supposed to meant to teach you how to have conversations about God with other people. For some of you, your discipler might be the only person who ever asks you about your relationship with Jesus. Your discipler might be the only person you ever talk about this kind of stuff with, and that's okay. But the ultimate goal is that you would learn in this relationship how to have other relationships like it. Your discipler is here to care for you and to care about you and to actually want to see you grow in your relationship with God. But the hope is that you don't need them all the time, because you have other people in your life you can talk to. Like maybe in the middle of your week, sometime like at Tuesday night, you start freaking out and you start worrying and you start having these thoughts and you're like, man, I just need to talk to somebody and I just need somebody to pray for. Our hope is that you wouldn't be like, I need my discipler right now. Oh my gosh. Maybe it's that you think, I can talk to my roommate about this. Or hey, I can call up one of my friends. Because slowly you go from having casual, just kind of hang out relationships with people to vulnerable, honest, God-centered ones. And I mean, hey, like your discipler is here for you. And when you need them, we want you to feel like you can reach out to them. But again, the hope is that they're not the only spiritual relationship you have in your life, but they're one of the many spiritual relationships you have. And that they are a spiritual relationship that teach you how to have many spiritual relationships. And so again, I just want to end by saying thank you so much for the honor and the privilege of investing in you through discipleship. Our hope is that this year God grows you, transforms your life, that your knowledge of Him and your knowledge of yourself gets deeper and deeper, and you're able more and more to live the life that He has for you.